So my name is Omar Apsad. It is 6:09 p.m. Um, June 15th, 2020. So I posted a bunch of tweets today and some videos about some occurrences outside my window. And what I actually posted was and streamed was harassment. And the comments are in line with several complaints that I lodged before. So it's just a continuation of the same type of harassment. So, and it seems to repeat itself over and over and over and over and over again. And there are several players. Um, so, right now, what is going on? And my throat is being tasked. So, what is going on is, of course, I was flagged, and there's a new flag I heard, and new envelopes. So the black man outside for the last few days have been harassing. Just this is harassment. It causes a lot of stress all day, and the management is well aware of it. Um, they are doing it because management is allowing them to do it, if not telling them to do it. When today, for instance, when the black man was about to go home, um, the worker who I took to court for harassment said to him, "You're on your own." So he's doing it with their knowledge and consent. And this is exactly what the worker did as well, which is why I complained about it. So it's ongoing, it is with consent, and it is meant to stress me out, and it is meant to terrorize me, and it is meant to lynch me. Because the constant comment is, you're a real prostitute now, you're registered up. Um, Everybody logged into you. We all effed you last night. We all effed it last night, and I pointed that out in one of the videos. So what is actually going on is these men, with the Toronto Police's active participation, because they're the one who's flagging and they're the one who's giving the link and the password to monitor, to contain, because there's no room in prison. Well, this is just how that link and password is used. It's not only used to monitor you 24/7, it's also used to access you to remotely rape with haptic technology, microwave technology that are used on porn sites and so on, and it's being perfected. So older people like myself, because I'm 60, I have a use, it's to perfect these technologies because pretty soon we human beings are going to be so diseased, COVID-19 and God knows all its mutations are going to come down the line. We're not going to be able to have sex as we normally would. Is there going to be an evolution? Everything is going to be virtual. We're going to be living in our headspace. There's going to be virtual sex. So, what is part of what is going on here is experiments by the Chinese traffickers, such as PK, to perfect this technology because there's a market for it. The market is being developed for it. It really doesn't matter what I die in the process because I'm a target. My life is disposable. However, under COVID-19, and the lighting is um, not sure what's going on. I'll have to. I got a new computer, and the lighting is a little bit off. I look kind of red on here. Um, I don't have a cold. It's just my throat is tagged. Um, so last night, speaking of perfecting the technology, there's a comment this morning by there was a white guy and a black guy talking, and he said we all effed it last night. And in the conversations, they mentioned things that happened in my bedroom last night that only somebody who was looking in would know. So this is what's going on at 25 Bamberg Circle. So PK's videos that I posted that he sexually harassed me, they the complaints that have been lodging with management and with the human rights, and several other incidents with other people, similar incidents, and this black man, they all linked together. And what happened in workplaces as well, it's all linked together. And if you connect the dots, it is about selecting by flagging people and lying on them to flag them falsely, then to train them with remote technologies, then to sell them. And in the process of selling, there are several clients, and you start at the top of the pyramid. So rich guys get in first, which means, and the rich guys are into young children. So when you're young in your teenage years, you're sold to the rich, super rich guys. When you're in the 20s, you're sold to a little less rich, and so on and so on and so on. So when you're hitting 60, actually, when you hit 40 or 50, you're supposed to be disposed of. And this is meant for everybody, as I said before. But this has been going on for years and years, 50 years since this technology has been developed. This is military style technology being abused by pedophiles and satanic groups and all sorts of other groups that believe that women and kids are to be cannibalized. There's a use for us, but we are to be cannibalized and used up, and men too. But it goes as I said, it goes in levels. So we are passed down the pyramid. So I'm 60. So my use is to perfect the technology. So in order to perfect the technology, you have to have a lot of users. So it's not so much as customization goes to stay with one person, so that person can use you up and then pass you on to somebody else, or use you to his limit and then pass you on to somebody else, and he gets bored with you. This is about perfecting technology. So all kinds of new technologies are being introduced into the torture program to dispose. The idea is at 60, the idea is to dispose of you. So it really doesn't matter whether you have a heart attack or whatever. It really doesn't matter. Strokes, aneurysms, heart attacks, whatever, and everybody's in on it because you are to be cannibalized. That's what a target is. Again, keep in mind, everybody are targets today. Everybody are targets because what Bill Gates is talking about is complete and utter enslavement. Cryptocurrency that's coming down the line that he's projecting 10 years in the future is just complete and utter enslavement. In fact, it's beyond enslavement. It's it's consolidation of the human body, the energies of the human body, just the life force. It's consumption. It's not enslavement. It's consumption of the human body and the human spirit. So it goes beyond enslavement. But let me talk about this particular incident scenario that's being played out at 25 Bamberg Circle. And my chest is being pulsed, my back is being pulsed, and I'm burping because it creates gas, the heat. So different kinds of technologies are being introduced. So haptic technology. So the microwaves are shielded, could be shielded from with aluminum mesh, wire mesh. Haptic technology, well, it's it's ultrasound. So the sound could bounce off surfaces. It doesn't have to hit your skin. If you have something over it, something solid, it will bounce off. Um, Ground penetrating radar, so body penetrating radar, are it's a different kind of technology that penetrates your skeleton deep into your body and your bones. So it can break your bones. It could crush your internal organs. It it applies pressure on the body, weight. So when it's done at night as you sleep, and different people take turns, um, they can actually crush your body, and you'll get up feeling completely and utterly exhausted. And it can kill you, of course, because you're only a target, and it's all fixed and it's all covered. So last night, I had 2 layers of wire meshing that I bought, and it was fine. It's effective, but they turned up the power. So I also have copper on my bed. Um, I have a grounding sheet on there as well. So the electricity that hits the copper is grounded. So the copper, when the power is turned up, the copper attenuates the electrical currents. So it stops the pain. Um, but I guess my point is they vary the technology, so you have to vary the shielding. Um, the ears and the eyes, well, lasers could be used in the eyes, and which will blind you. It will burn out your retina, and that's been done as well. Um, Sonic bullets can be pulsed into your eyeballs, and you'll get retinal detachment. And glaucoma, the pressure is going to be affected. So all these things could happen to your eyes, which they will. I'm saying they will because it's intended for everybody. Everybody have a use. And the old people who died, I'm suspecting that people like PK, and not only the Chinese are doing it, Russians are doing it as well. They use these old people to experiment on and then kill them off because there's nobody looking. So things like all sorts of experiments are being carried out with all kinds of different technologies. But my concern is a 60-year-old like myself at this point in my life. When I was 20, I was, you know, there were people who were using me, and I don't mean actually raping, they were looking and maybe developing. I don't know. Maybe it was meant for to develop certain people into certain pathways in professions, and it wasn't always about sex. Because I don't remember feeling raped before before I came to become a before I became aware. Oh, I was made aware of these technologies, which was very recent, which means that the technology had developed and became available recently. So it wasn't always about rape, but it was always about containment and terrorization and traumatization to keep you in a certain state of mind, to keep you in a certain path, to be controlled and to be used for whatever purposes. Again, the use is not always sexual, the use could be any other reason. The use could be simply be a company wanting to keep you and develop you, and maybe and the person who has the receipt will just look at you because he's a voyeur. It's not. It wasn't always about rape. So it depends on who the manager is. But in this building, the people who took over when they got the contract, and the contract is flowing through the police stations. So whatever area you're in, that police station has a contract on you, and wherever you move, that police station will take the contract over. So then wherever you live, the cops are taking the contract will work with the people in your environment to subcontract from them and to keep you in this program. So when I came to this building, there was already a trafficking ring being operated here. The building was being used to procure kids, women, men, for whatever reason. I mean, people like Vince Lee are used for experimentation. So everybody have a use. The old Chinese people, I suspect, are being used to being used for experiments. I'm sure of this. The children are being raped. People like PK, who is a rapist, if you listen to the messages that he left, will and do rape children in the building. So what went on in this building was connected to the Chinese community. So I was being sold then to rich Chinese and Chinese warlords in the area. And then it just opened up after that. Anybody could have you. So right at this stage, right now, when it went global, and I heard Gord had the account monitored globally. So I was monitored globally anywhere I went because I was traveling at the time. So I haven't traveled in the last little long while. It's more than 10 years. Um, right now it's global. So um, anybody from around the world could log in and any number of people can log in. But there's a server in this building that that is um, have all that logging information. The server knows who is doing it, how long it's doing it, what the person is doing. All that is being recorded on this server. So that's on somebody's computer, obviously. The link and the password is on the computer. The names of the people who are accessing me is on that computer. And the person who is holding the receipt is the gatekeeper. That person knows exactly who's logging in and probably is even looking when the person remotely accesses your body and pulse your behind or pulse your eyes or pulse your nose or crush your chest. He's actually looking. So it's progressed from voyeurism to sadomasochism. It's not only about rape, it's about torture. It's about the combination of sex and torture, sadomasochism. So all the people in my file who signed statements, who took receipts, who got receipts and took me out, all these people are people who accessed me and then gave it to other people in their network, family members, friends, contractors, business people are in their circle who they want favors from. You're a tool, in other words. So you're handed out to be used. So this is where it's at right now. So it really doesn't matter whether I die or not. This is my use. I'm 60 years old. From here on in, it's experiment until I die. And this is true for old people across the board. Everybody have a use of the satanic pyramid structure that is in place right now. Actually, it's been in place for a long time. We just didn't realize it. But everybody has a use. So when you're retired at 65 and you think you're going to be happy at 65, well, somebody have plans for you at 65. They're going to run all kinds of experiments on you through your doctor sometimes. And there are dirty doctors out there who's going to do this. They're going to try drugs on you. They're going to do surgeries on you. They're going to do all sorts of experiments on you with your doctor's knowledge and participation. Again, not all doctors are taking part in this sort of corrupted activities, but a lot of them do. So, so today was a very stressful day. Um, but this black guy, I'm not sure what his name is. I heard somebody call him Rick. I'm not even sure that his name is Rick. Because sometimes the person who's doing the harassing is doing the harassing on behalf of the person who has the receipt. So it could be that a Rick, whoever Rick is, has the receipt and they're calling this man who is subcontracting and working on behalf of Rick, because Rick is the person who's imprinting. So all gang activity and gang lingo. So this is gang activity that the management is allowing and supporting. Talking at a time.